what I brought. I brought in utazi leaf. Yeah, I had to label everything just in case they asked us to open our bag, but fortunately we sealed our bag with nylons. We sealed it at the airport. When we go to the Canadian airport in Toronto, they didn't ask us to open anything, but just to be safe, most of it were in Ziploc bags and labeled so that we can actually see. Labeled, sealed properly to avoid smell, because they have those dogs going around to sniff things that are not around, that are contraband. But I tried as much as possible not to carry anything that was contraband, especially things like milk and dairy products. What is this? Okay, this is dry fish. I've actually eaten lots. That's why I couldn't get much. That's why I had to cargo some. So they're all sealed and they're still good. I brought in catfish, bonga fish as well. This is melon seed. Okay. Hello guys, so welcome to my channel. If you're a subscriber, thank you. If you're a first-time subscriber, you're the real deal. Thank you so much. So today I'm going to be showing you food I brought in from Nigeria 4 months ago into Canada. Yeah, the last video I had showed the food I cargoed 3 months ago and how good they still were. So in this video I'm going to be showing you the food items I brought in. Okay, so for those of you that are looking to come into Nigeria, so that you can have an idea of what you can bring in. Okay, so let's get right into it. Don't forget to share this link to your friends and family. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow us on social media on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So let's get right into it. So okay, now everything I brought, I had to put them in a Ziploc bag because of the visa officers. You never know what they will be looking for you, but lucky enough for us, we were not asked to open our bags, but to play safe, everything was wrapped, packed in a Ziploc bag. Now this is fish. It's almost out. This is catfish, all dried, oven dried, to avoid molds from coming into it. Let me just open one and show you how it looks. So this is one piece. They were all like this, wrapped. I think I had 4 of this bag like this. I can't show you everything. So this is fish, dry fish, catfish. And I'll put that down. So I'll be bending down, guys, because you need to see everything I have. This is crayfish. I had like 4 paints. I cleaned them up myself and I blended them. But these ones were not blended. But the ones I blended almost out. But I recycle a lot. So when I buy fruit juice here in Canada, because these bottles are expensive, bottles, the jars that I used to store food items, they're expensive. So whenever I buy juice, I try to recycle them and I use them to store dry food. So this is crayfish. I also brought the dried prawns, not the big crayfish. I also bought some of that, but I'm almost out of that. I wrapped it in a Ziploc as well. This is what's left. I think I'll be needing some. And then label dried prawns. This is black pepper, like we call it Cameroon pepper back home in Nigeria. I also put them in a Ziploc bag labeled, and I'm using this bottle to store it. So if you come into Canada and you try buy this type of juices, so once it's out, you clean it up and use it and store your dry food, so you don't spend much money buying jars. Okay, this is ginger. We bought like a paint, the custard bucket. We dried, my daughter and I, we washed it, oven dried it, dehydrated it, and then blended it as well. Very good for tea. Wait, I also brought garlic. I brought like a bag of this bag that looks like nets. So I brought it. This was left. This container is also recycled. I recycle a lot, guys. This is Iru dried. I bought them wet, oven dried, dehydrated, and I packed in transparent bottle and labeled. What else in the bottle? This is beans flour, also recycled container I used to pack it, but I also put it in a Ziploc bag and then stored here. Guys, I bought a lot of tatashi. I think I have 3 of this pack because I know when it's out of season, it's very expensive, but I haven't even used it. If I had known, I probably would have cleaned it up back home and blended it, because I don't even know where to blend it. I'll probably use a very strong blender to blend it at home whenever I'm ready to use it. I also brought pepper, shumbo, this shumbo, the dried ones. I brought, okay, I've shown you some of the fish I brought. What else is here? I brought some neem powder, neem powder. Everything has to be labeled. I brought in bitter leaves. This one is not washed. This one was just cleaned up and I dehydrated it. I had a dehydrator back home, so I used it to dehydrate the leaves I brought. So I brought bitter leaf. I brought in a fine leaf. It's called amakel leaf. They're still fresh. I had dehydrated it. I didn't wash this one. I just dehydrated. So if I want to use it, I'm going to soak it in water. When it's soft, I'll blend with my blender. Then I can use it to cook my delicious afang soup. I also brought bitter leaf. This one was actually filled up here, but bitter leaf seems to be my favorite leaf for soup. I used to cook almost any kind of soup, a bono, a gusi, okra. So it was filled up to this point, but this is what's left. I think I'll have to order more. What other type of leaf did I bring? I think that's about all the leaf I brought. So let's go into more of the flour. This is okra. For those of us that are Igbo, my neighbor gave them to me. I haven't made it. I'm going to use it to make okra. Okra is like moi moi for those of you that are not Igbo. And then it's a special delicacy in Nigeria, in the eastern parts. It fills up and it's very healthy. So I actually didn't want to take chances. That's why I use masking tape. After I put them in the Ziploc bag, I shrink sealed it and I use a masking tape so I could label it, because we actually shrink wrapped our bags to avoid spillage or anything, because we're moving from one airport. We had 2 connecting flights, or like 3. We left Lagos to Ethiopia, then Ireland, and then we landed Toronto, and then we came to Halifax, so like 4. So I didn't want my things spilling. I think I just had one thing that spilled, and that's semo, and it wasn't so bad. I have achi. This is like the soup thickener, local spices. I labeled it local spices. Have banga sticks. Guys, I don't know what this is for, what it does in the soup, but I just know that we use to cook banga soup. So I brought them. Okay, this is more banga spice leaf. This is leaves of cooking banga soup. What else? I have pepper soup spice. I bought them myself in the market, blended and packed them. I haven't even opened it, and I cannot see any cocoa inside because I had to dehydrate, grind and pack. Clean up. When you buy them, you clean it up, dehydrate, and then you pack. Guys, I also bought pap from Kume Pap, a friend of mine that makes pap, and another lady. So I have like 2 of this. They were half of it, and it was frozen too. So I sealed it up, covered it up like this. I folded it and stuck into the box. So this one is still here because I have other things that we take. We can take custard, we take quicker oats, and then we take pap. So once this is out, I'll probably order more. I brought in cloves. Haven't opened this one as well. Still the way it is. I brought in baka. This is used to make abacha. I also brought in abacha. It's somewhere far away from me, but I brought some. I just brought a little bit of everything we eat, as much as we could take. Guys, the airplane will only allow you to take 23 kg, and we all know that that's a scam. It's never enough, but pack at least a little bit of everything you will need. If you want to pay for extra bag, it's okay, but we have to pay for extra bag even though we tried as much as possible to reduce stuff. So guys, don't even bother bringing clothes that you, like this, because you have a lot of them here. You can bring a little of your traditional wears. That's fine, because you will not see them here, and they're very expensive if you have to make them. So those ones are priority, but things like clothes, shoes, don't need them. I brought in a wagoni sauce. I should try this week. A friend of mine called JDP Global Concepts. She's a food processor. She made this, and she also made the beans flour I brought, guys. That beans flour, it's very smooth, neat, and the moi it turns out well, and the akara as well. But I better use fresh beans for akara, for those of us that like akara. Okay, so I brought in a goosey. This bag was filled, but this is what we have left. Like I said, I bought them myself fresh. I cleaned up, took them to the grinding place, blended, grinded it as well, and labeled. This is ogbono. I still have more of ogbono because I bought a lot of it. Yes, I brought in snails. I had a friend of mine who bought some of it for me. We cleaned it up, oven dried, and we dehydrated. Look at a piece of it. It's still very dry, so if I want to use it, I'll just soak in hot water, clean up, boil, cook, and my snail is ready. Okay, this is small leaf. I brought in a wedu leaf. This one I didn't wash, so you can see some sand. So guys, if you want to dehydrate, make sure you wash your leaf clean. Why? Because after dehydrating, the leaf is so frail that if you can squeeze it in your hands and squash. For soups like ewedu, it's okay to have it as smooth as possible, but things like maybe bitter leaf, before I use it, I'll soak it if so that it can still be like leafy for me to use. So that's why I said you should wash, clean it up properly, so that in case, so that you not have it break into tiny pieces more than required, right? And this is sink leaf, the chow leaf. The Igbos call this a chow, so this is basil leaf. I dehydrated, I cleaned it up and dehydrated as well. So if I just want to use it, I'll just soak it in water and I'll use it. I bought in fenugreek. Like I told you, I brought in a little bit of everything I like to use, so I don't go shopping and spending dollars. Okay, this is ehuru, and actually these are also local spice, soup thickener, and for flavor and healthy as well. This is insala spice for fish, pepper soup. I also brought in ofada rice. You don't need to bring foreign rice. No, you have a lot of rice here, basmati rice. I only brought in ofada because I know they will not have it and it will be in African store, but maybe pricey. So I brought in some. So I brought in grinded pepper too as well, because I wasn't sure how I was able to grind the ones that were not blended. So this, I bought 2 of this, and this will still last me till the end of the year. We don't need too much pepper, I feel it. Okay. I brought in a lubo yam flour, and this is the same one I was telling you guys. It actually punctured a bigger bag. I brought in a bigger bag of this and half of this. Then I brought in yellow garri. I brought a little kg of each because I told you you only have 23 kg for each luggage you have. I brought in curry powder like this. Yes, I brought in Maggi, not Maggi specifically, but they were not like this when they came in. I actually unwrapped them and squashed them and put them in the Ziploc bag and label seasoning. You know, anything dairy product is not allowed, anything fresh is not allowed. So like, and chicken, anything chicken is not allowed. I know Norcube has some chicken, you have some, the one that's a beef. So if you still like your chicken, empty it from the wrap, grind it and just label seasoning. It's okay. I brought in date powder. I actually put it in this container. This is actually a recycled container. I recycle containers a lot because I didn't want the dates to congeal, because it actually, if you have air inside, it actually congeals. So we eat inside the container. It's still powder. You can still use it for your moi, beverages, juices as well. Yeah, so it's there. What's this? Okay, this is I brought in banga spice as well. I bought this one from an African store here, but the one I brought is finished, so you can still find those ones in African store. Brought in ogiri isi. This is a local spice for cooking oha soup and onugbu soup. It's in the Ziploc bag. There. Like I said, I recycle a lot, so I just put it in here in this container. I put it down in my fridge. Yeah. Or you can freeze it if you want to. I also brought in away. I didn't bring it out, but I brought in away, guys. I brought in bay leaves, jollof rice, and to season the meal with meat. I brought in a little bit of cloves. I brought in ginger spice from Calm Zenith. This is a vendor. I think I bought 4 of this each. Brought in thyme. This is Oziza seeds I use for oha soup and egusi soup as well. Turmeric. I bought an all-purpose seasoning from the same vendor. Very good, very good. No sand, very good. I bought in suya, yeah, just so I can make my suya with my oven. This is another suya. I brought in dried onions because I wasn't sure how we're going to get fresh onions, so that for the first week we have something to cook. So I brought in this. Then guys, I was talking about oil. So most times if you want to bring in your oil when you're coming in, if you don't want to cargo, like maybe you're coming in and you need to cook soup for the first week, you can put your palm oil here in this pouch and freeze it maybe a day before you come. I placed it in the freezer, so it was here, and when I brought it out, I folded it. I wrapped it with a cloth, like a scarf. Then I used this nylon for shrink wrapping. I wrapped it, and I also used the sellotape to wrap it, and I put it in the middle of the bag so that it stays. Guys, it was still cold, so you can actually buy this from any vendor. You can type on Instagram, you see a lot of vendors selling. I think they sell in like packs. I had like 4 of this, but I only took 1 because of excess luggage. So that would be all. I think that's about all, everything that I brought in. I've been able to show you guys. I'm glad I did this video. I didn't do it when I came in. Like, this is 3 months after we've landed, so I just want to thank you. If you've not seen other videos of the things I cargoed in, I did a video of that. You can go back to my playlist and click. Kindly subscribe, share the link with your friends that are coming in, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you.